Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon at the top of the page to get notified when I post a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Universal Channeling. Channeling the Conscious Universe. Andrew's Revocation, at the Hub of Interconnectivity. Monday, October 19, 2020. I unpack and decode the 1 million letter celestial alphabet for the expressed purpose of being the celestial medium of peace. I dedicate this to all there is, was, and ever will be. I am the excellence of execution with flawed perfection. I am man, hear me roar. Meow. There comes a time for those destined for greatness when we must stand before the mirror of meaning and ask, why have we been given this courage? I am the mirror and the man. This courage is my birthright and legacy to this world. This is the fifth world of peace. We must look into our own eyes that are tired from the long journey through mediocrity. In that moment of self-discovery, many learn we are soul-tired of stagnation, soul-tired of repetition with our personal illumination. Our culture has become stagnant, our society has become separate of reality for those living within the denomination of currency, a separation of humanity created by the money-driven caste system as a byproduct of world government's inability to actually do anything that helps people out of the stagnation or cruelty put onto them by the free market society, a system that uses free will to its advantage to create disadvantages for those that come to the future generations. Our parents, and their parents, and theirs before them had a vastly different life than those of the previous 1,000 generations. We have lost our way to create synthesis with our own selves. This speech is by design to challenge the readers and listeners in 900 degrees of separation from the creation of these words. Can you once again attain synthesis with yourselves in this moment? Can you solve your greatest problem of attention, and it is deficit because our world screams with things that take us off course? Synthesis is not just a word. It is a state of personal freedom and awareness for growth within the patterns we create to promote our own evolution with our purpose and place in this world. When in the course of our personal human events, there comes a moment looking into the mirror of meaning when something looks back at us in the raising of one's own awareness, a time when some ask questions of the self in reflection, and others lose track of the moment, lost in their own petty, momentary need for mystical justification. It is those few who choose to dissolve old beliefs and habit patterns that create habitual abuse of the self who are the ones destined for greatness in a world of mediocrity. These self-chosen few know the full powers of the self, and the laws of nature are nature's gifts to us. It is our legacy and birthright to be in synthesis with all there is, was, and ever will be. Each and every one of us has the inner fortitude to face the self-created demons of mediocrity. It will be choice and our ability to enforce our choices to last through the storm of self-doubt and self-deceptions. Each day we challenge ourselves to become more than we were the day before. We pass on the legacy of the self to ourself, so our greatness will not be forgotten to the evolving waves of time. This moment now, as you read or hear these very words, a vast unseen world tunes into you, asking you to listen to the silence that expands your ability to know it, equal to this world and layered over it through the forms of thought and perception. You, and only you, can discern the silence and know how the unseen world speaks to you. As I write and speak these eternal words decoded from the 1 million letter celestial alphabet, all of you feel the churning of a wisdom you have known since the dawn of your eternal births. The great remembering has begun. I know this because I feel you before this has ever been shown to another living person in this world. I have spread it to the rest of the uni-worlds layered over all the forms of thought and perception for the expressed purpose of being the celestial medium of peace. In this, we as a species, entangled with tens of thousands of other species no longer have to battle for manliness control of infinite space. Fear in the form of self-depravity, self-deception, and egotistical actions, redefines, and drives so many in the uni-worlds to do things unnatural to their natural way of being. We must face our fear of the unknown, and know it is false evidence appearing real. We make it real, for we are the creators of our own reality. Too many of us hold false truths to be self-evident, appearing as real now, deforming our ability to store memories without our perception-deception filters guiding us, with fear-based actionable wisdom driving us further into the charge and polarity of living in the layered uni-world. As the creators of our own reality, our self-truths are incumbent on our ability to be vigilant and disciplined, holding them as self-evident now, without perception-deception filters guiding us back into fear, false evidence appearing real, doubt or the many vices of depravity. Many of us believe the greatest human power of potential is within our ability to independently think, to choose our own goals and live our dreams. Within the heart of humankind lives the natural instinct to know freedom, Here exists the independent psychological predisposition to chart our own course. This is a biological imperative directing us to grow. Choosing the spiritual joy through this biological imperative is the essence of our essence, being one with it as part of us. As a programmable DNA instrument of awareness, as part of our choice-based system of belief, interwoven with the fabric of time-space reality. The history of our past actions all too often retells the tales of life traumas, repeated without learning how to heal from them, and nagging unhappiness with our path, lack of clear purpose, or anything that does not promote us as conscious beings of choice that must go through the thick and thin of life's offerings from a world mired in mediocrity. Too many of our world cultures teach a blind desire to be judged worthy, lovable, accepted as part of the pack of conformists. We must learn about our hero's journey, the steps forward to do its great work regardless of the projections put upon by those around them, including loved ones who are still in the hypnosis of obedience and slavery. A hero's stance is frightening to those who unquestionably conform. You, as a hero, will not become subject to the tyranny of fools, and the fool's desire to entangle with you in the fool's mission of self-deception. Too many of our species are lost to the abyss of unawareness, blissfully ignorant to all of nature's gifts within the joystick dock of the now. We can no longer live in apathy of the moment of now. We must be present to reclaim our authority and its wonderful gifts that exist in the now, that were given away to the system of cultural mediocrity and deprivation of our relation with nature. If you should choose to be a conscious being of choice in full awareness, your choice is yours to use, discard, or give away to others. You, and only you, can attain personal freedom from the conformists who demand you conform. This is a form of cultural hypnosis that uses pre- and post-cultural hypnotic suggestions demanding you respond to the needs of others, pulling you at every choice point, changing the course of your daily evolution into meaningless pursuits of false emergencies. This creates an inner detachment of our clear intentions and actions. Personal evolution becomes a TV series we binge watch, thus lessening our ability to even know synthesis. As our birthright and legacy, we must explore with a clear heart, a clear mind and knowingness. The world will demand you conform. We step into our greatness, with these truths self-evident to our beingness, in stages of action, reclaiming our power and authority to be ourselves without conforming to the whims and fancies of others needing to make us conform to their reality rules. All too often mankind forgets the unnatural foe of our life path is the distant vision of death driving us into choice points we adhere to with vigilant force. We stop our own evolution. The real truth is, we only have these moments of now. The byproduct of this form of thinking is present in the moment-to-moment detachment from natural living. This is unnatural to the way of nature, a creation by man's need to make others conform to thought constructs and ideologies of the past generations, demanding we make them relevant to grow. All too often mankind does not have vibrant awareness of its own emotions. Lack of emotions means one cannot feel the subtle energy that surrounds our body, mind, and spirit as a complex hologram of light encoded in memories, lifetime to lifetime. We must choose to feel, again and again. Each time you make the choice to feel, allowing the raw emotions to help define your course of action into your great work, so your great work can have a great impact on those you love. The choice to feel is your birthright and legacy. Each day we must challenge the gates of apathy and drive forward our hologram with full presence and the potential power of being in the now. There are things inside us all that create self-sabotaging habit patterns. These habitual patterns take on the forms of unhealed traumas, rearing their head during our times of internal crisis. Whenever we choose to be authentic with ourselves or loved ones, these patterns become programs of potent power. Throughout the many generations, thinkers call these programs our internal demons. All too often mankind does not have vibrant awareness of its own emotions. Lack of emotions means one cannot feel the subtle energy that surrounds our body, mind, and spirit, as a complex hologram of light encoded in memories lifetime to lifetime. We must choose to feel, again, and again. Each time you make the choice to feel, allowing the raw emotions to help define your course of action into your great work, so your great work can have a great impact on those you love. The choice to feel is your birthright and legacy. Each day, we must challenge the gates of apathy and drive forward our hologram with full presence and the potential power of being in the now. There are things inside us all that create self-sabotaging habit patterns. These habitual patterns take on the forms of unhealed traumas, rearing their head during our times of internal crisis. Whenever we choose to be authentic with ourselves or loved ones, these patterns become programs of potent power. Throughout the many generations, thinkers call these programs our internal demons. Our internal demons poison the well of inspiration, turn hope toxic, and dispel goodwill into hatred, rage, and anger. Our destiny is determined in large part on how well we know our internal demons of self-doubt and self-deprivation, and how they use shame, blame and guilt to distort our perceptions of people, places, and things of present, diminishing a potent power that can assist us in manifesting our dreams, desires and needs so we lead a fulfilled life. How we battle them and choose to win each day will be determined by the metal you create within yourself. The path to self-mastery begins with identifying your internal demons and flipping the frequencies on their arguments for your limitation. Find your arguments for success, and challenge your internal demons to go back to the recesses of your mind and sit in the corner powerless to overcome your will, to be a concise being of choice in these moments of now. For if you don't defeat your demons, who will? The external will not save you, it will only make you conform to the global narrative. Many wonder why we cannot mature as fast as we could, seeing others leapfrog ahead of the pack of conformists when we ourselves cannot advance. We are struck in pause, waiting for permission to declare our dreams and true intentions, struggling for what we want out of our life walk. We await the time for personal courage to arise within us like a sexual stimulation, or for society to grant us permission to activate our inner genius, and in turn activate the inner genius of others. This is the illusion and delusion all wrapped into a perfect enigma, surrounded by a conundrum of lack of self-worth. We have forgotten courage is a choice, and permission and impetus to move with bold decisive action is not given by the global narrative or the impotent masses entrenched in mediocrity. To seek change, is to go against the grain of those demanding conformity to ideological and cultural patterns of limitation, truly advancing to the unknown with the choice to make it known, letting go of fear, envy, and resentment, flying aloft on the wings of understanding, enjoying the reckless abandon of shedding off the conformist's will, to suppress your desires to know the unknown. It is your birthright and legacy as a concise being of choice on the path to self-mastery. The bold and disciplined invite need to grow. It is our savior from the fearful masses who will never hold their power, until they too are faced with their internal demons and shed off the needs of the conformed masses who have forgotten that courage is a choice. What awaits them is the presence of choice itself and the potential power of living in the natural moment of now. Andrew Bartzis. Website, andrewbartzis.com